This is
so cool.
this is really cool. Okay. Hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. My name's Emma, and I'm joined as always by my lovely co-host Marcie.
Hello.
We're trying a new way to record our podcast episodes that we haven't before. So if things are a little bit different sounding, it's because we're messing with the settings. I do think I prefer this way better than our previous method. I will say. We can it uploads while we're recording. God, this is life-changing.
No. Oh my, this is life-changing stuff for you.
This may just reduce my workload by tenfold.
Because, like, what you guys don't see is after we finish recording, me and Emma just sit and I just have to, like, watch her slowly lose her will to live as she tries to download the recording.
From, like, OneDrive, and then sometimes it'll get halfway through, and that's, like, 30 minutes. And then it'll stop and automatically cancel the download on me, and so I have to start it all over again, and I just wasted 30 minutes of my life trying to get them. Life-changing. Anyways, we were going to start off talking about the Leafs, but we had some breaking news that came in before the show started. Marcie, it's a big day. Big day. We've covered this topic on the show before.
Yes.
The mystery of the stolen Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads has been solved. They've been solved. The Pittsburgh Penguins posted a press release on their on Twitter as of like 2 minutes ago, saying the Penguins confirm arrival of Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads and announce distribution dates as soon as April 6th and 7th, which is like next week. The Penguins have secured the truckload of stolen Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads and plans to begin distributing them distributing the promotional items at the team's upcoming home game on Saturday, April 6th. It was announced today by Penguins President of Business Operations, Kevin Acklin. The Penguins were notified last week that a special cargo recovery team negotiated the return of the stolen property to a secure warehouse located in Ontario, California, which, yes, is a real place. The truckload arrived in Pittsburgh today. Also, wait, isn't Ontario, California where there's like either a Margaritaville or a Rainforest Cafe?
Yes.
We've seen the 10 Division videos.
Oh, yeah. I rewatched the Rainforest Cafe one, like, 2 days ago. And now here we are.
Oh, my God. Yes. The truckload arrived in Pittsburgh today and is expected to be delivered to PPG Paints Arena within the next week. The Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads are presented by Neighborhood Ford Store. If you're holding a voucher from the March 14th game versus the San Jose Sharks, you can redeem your vouchers the 6th and the 7th. Fans with tickets to the 6th game versus the Tampa Bay Lightning and a Jagr bobblehead voucher will be able to return their vouchers inside PPG Paints Arena from the times doors open at 11:30 a.m. until 30 minutes following the conclusion of the game. More information, blah, 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 vouchers, blah, 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 blah. And then it's just information about the vouchers, which, like, if you do have one of those vouchers, you can go and look for yourself. But yes, spectacular news. I just love the phrasing of the one sentence. A special cargo recovery team negotiated the returns of the stolen property. The stolen property being about 20,000 Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads.
Oh, it's just... Oh, I love how big of a thing it's become.
I need a movie made about this.
Oh my... Please. It's like the next James Bond movie.
We were
like,
discussing...
Mission Impossible.
We were discussing earlier last week, that they should make a movie based on the 2010 Olympics, like the men's hockey, golden goal and everything. I think they should make a movie about this instead.
Yeah, this is like 10 times bigger, better.
hold on. I need to hold on. I'm gonna do something really funny, and you're gonna laugh. But so I don't know. Pick a topic. But hold on. Hold on. This is really funny. I'm gonna need Kyle Dubas. Like, who are you gonna cast as Kyle Dubas? I'm gonna need footage of Kyle Dubas, like, on the phone.
Oh, I think you should cast me as Kyle Dubas. Look, I can do the two phones. I can do it. No, I think I would be a great Kyle Dubas, I think. Like, we both love Michael Bunting. We both love Michael Bunting. And also,
Justin Hall.
We both really, really love Justin Hall. What? I'm, like, very qualified for the role. I'm just saying. And it would also be really nice to get paid. So.
It would. Imagine how much you'd... Imagine also, like, the nice suits you'd wear. Oh,
I'd fuck up some of those suits.
Now we have to talk about some not as exciting news. Leafs. Okay, well, look, like, it wasn't that bad. Considering the schedule the Leafs were given this weekend, it could have been worse. We could have lost both games badly.
That is true.
We could have been the Edmonton Oilers this weekend.
Yeah.
Who lost to the Leafs badly, and then lost to the Senators
the
badly.
Oilers and losing 6-3 to the Leafs.
And then the next night, losing 5-2 to the 2023-2024 Ottawa Senators.
Ooh,
who, like, just last week lost really badly to St. Louis.
Yeah, like, that... At what point do you just, like, fold the franchise?
At what point do you give up?
Yeah, at what point do you just go, you know what? Maybe hockey in Edmonton just shouldn't.
Well, because, like, if I'm Connor McDavid, I'm doing something so unbelievably drastic at center ice of Rogers Place in front of Ken Holland and Wayne Gretzky.
If I'm Connor McDavid, I'm turning around going, you know what? I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. And then I'm just leaving. And next thing the rest of the team knows, guess who's just popped up in a Leafs jersey?
Connor McDavid!
Connor McDavid to the Leafs.
Connor McDavid to Toronto. Oh my god. No. He ends up in France and joins Lauren Kyle's bachelorette party in France.
Yeah. Yeah. It's where he's meant to be.
It's where he's meant to be. Après in the French Alps in March.
You've seen that handwriting. He belongs with the girls.
Drinks are on me. Why? Okay, it's the fact that it, like, rhymes, where I'm like, okay, how long did he spend on that? Where he goes, to my wife to be,
too long.
Celebrate hard, drinks are on me. Ah, it rhymes. Do you think he, like, then turned to Leon Draisaitl and goes, look, man, I'm a poet. Didn't even know it.
Oh, no, because I know for a fact that he says, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. And he genuinely finds it hilarious. Like, he'll say it and he'll chuckle to himself and he'll be like, good one, Connor. And everyone else would just say, done.
Everyone's so done with his shit. Yeah, so Samsonov started against Edmonton. Unlike what we thought that Samsonov would get the start. But Jones was the backup, and there was some not so much slight panic, because we've been through this before. It allows Joseph Wool to stay completely rested going into a game that was less than 24 hours later, which is good because Samsonov would end up leaving the game early. So it was good that you know, this is the luxury of 3 goalies. Also as well,
like
Joseph Wool was not even in Toronto for that game.
They shipped him off.
They shipped him off early. Again, luxury of having 3 goalies. But in exchange for, you know, not having to watch the Leafs dominate the Edmonton Oilers from the press box, eating his popcorn, he was stuck fighting for his life at Pearson Airport, trying to connect to the airport Wi-Fi. That doesn't work.
Oh, airport Wi-Fi.
Okay, no. I have many personal beefs with Pearson International Airport. I do. Look, I've flown out of there too many times for me not to have beef with the airport. One, there's always some terminal under construction that makes it hard to find your terminal, and it also then means that your gate is like a 30-minute walk away from like everything else in the airport. Yeah. It's annoying. Two, the Wi-Fi never works. Never works. They're like, oh, come join our free Wi-Fi network. Doesn't work. You can't even send a text message over it. It sucks. Now try imagining having to get work done in the airport before your flight, and you can't, because you can't connect to the stupid Wi-Fi. Two, the chairs in the gates, not comfortable. Also, not nearly enough charging ports for them. You think, oh, well, it doesn't matter, because you're going to be able to charge your charge on the plane. Yeah, sometimes I still want to charge my phone, so I don't have to wrestle with my charging cable out of my backpack while trying to sit on my seat, while trying to also balance my book in my lap, while also trying to make sure that my tray table doesn't fly up so it spills my open cup of Sprite all over the person next to me.
Oh, joy.
I have also as well, people don't know how to walk on those moving, like, people mover walking escalators.
God.
It's the same rules as an escalator, people. Walk on the right, stand on the right, walk on the left. If you're on the left-hand side, you better be walking. If you're not walking, what are you doing there? Move over. Let me power walk down these things to get to places faster. The whole point is to allow people to get to places faster. It doesn't work if I could move faster by walking, not on the walking, moving, like, people mover. Look, I can go on, but this is a hockey podcast, not Emma complaints about the Pearson International Airport for an hour. At least he didn't have to pick up his luggage afterwards from Pearson, because my sister had to do that recently after a trip to Europe, and my mom had to wait with her for 2 hours.
Yay!
It took her 2 hours for her to get her luggage.
God.
So, that's after her flight was cancelled, and she had to stay in France another day.
Oh, the horrors of...
Oh yeah, being trapped in southern France.
Oh god, that must be so horrible. I'm really sorry that she had to go through that. You know, it's not like, you know, I was like, you were telling me about this, and I was like, looking out the window, and it was absolutely pissing it down. And I was like, you know what? I'm so glad I'm not trapped in the south of France right now. I'm so glad that I'm staring out of my window to torrential rain and grey.
Yeah. So, but it was a smart idea. We'll talk about the Carolina game in a little bit, but, like, it's the luxury you get with having 3 goalies on your roster, especially when that third goalie is still, like, Martin Jones, who is still a pretty good goalie. Like, he's not half bad. Like, people are like, oh, it's Martin Jones. Martin Jones is still a good goalie. Like, he carried the Leafs for a while there when they really needed it. But yeah, TJ Brody, still scratched. Labushkin, still sick. Also, no Bertuzzi as well. He was also ill with different symptoms than the game against Washington.
Yay!
Don't know what he has.
I would love to sit down and introduce him to the concept of a vaccine.
Me too. Like, I feel like
it'd be like such an interesting conversation.
Yeah. Also as well, like, one thing I do want to point out, and I noticed this just because I was looking over, like, shift times, like, time on ice and things like that from this game. Ryan Reeves played less than 6 minutes that game.
Ouch.
Which is really interesting for a game that got really, really chippy.
Yeah. That's actually I thought That's surprising, that.
Which then I'll bring up, like, I have we'll talk about, like, some questions for the Leafs for their decor going into Game 1 of the playoffs, which is far more interesting to talk about than who's going to start in net for Game 1 of the playoffs. Sportsnet. But...
Yes, Sportsnet.
But yeah, I will say, this was a game for the fourth line Blorbos. Two goal game for Pontus Holmberg and Bobby McMahon. It's Pontus Holmberg's first multi-goal game as well of his career. So hats off to these guys. Was really hoping one of them would get the hat trick with the empty netter at the end of the game.
I was genuinely sat there praying that Pontus Holmberg would get a hat trick. If it was going to be any game, it would have been then.
I was going to say also as well, like, you could tell at the end that, like, I think, because Pontus Holmberg was out there, he was getting some top line minutes at least near the end of the game as well. You could tell that, like, that Austin Matthews was, like, trying to pass off the puck to him, for sure. You could see it, right? They kept passing to him, like, shoot it down.
Yeah, they were like,
and there was
oh my god.
Go!
I was like, wonder.
Yeah. William Nylander also got a goal as well. Way to go, Willie. I will say, though, like, for me, this one, I was like, you can't, like, the Leafs were very dominant through this whole game. They were. You can just tell by everything about the game. I will say that, like, they gave Edmonton it almost looked like Edmonton was going to come back for a second. Because the Leafs took a string of some bad penalties there that they should not have taken. Where I was like, okay.
When the
you
Oilers
can't
started
do that.
scoring, I was sat and I was like, please, no. Like, I thought we were safe. This is the trust issues that watching the Leafs has given me. We can be in the lead by, what was it? We were 5 up at one point.
Yeah, it was 5-1 at one point.
And I was sat and I was like, we can't. I was like, we've got 5 goals. We've got this in the bag. And then they started to score, and I was like, we're losing this. It's gonna be like, they're gonna score 10. The world's gonna
We've got
end.
5 goals. We've got this in the bag is something no Leafs fan should ever feel comfortable saying.
Nope.
4-goal lead to the Leafs means nothing.
Nope.
But, like, there was some penalties there that, like, because most of those goals that Edmonton scored, like, were power play goals. And, like, you're missing Mitch Marner on your penalty kill. You're missing Kalle Yarncroke on your penalty kill. You're missing Ilya Lyubushkin on your penalty kill. You can't let a team like the Edmonton Oilers, who will throw at you Zach Hyman, Leon Draisaitl, and Connor McDavid, and Evan Bouchard, all at you at the same time, and be like, all right, yeah, let's take some dumb penalties.
Fine.
Like, you can't allow that, and especially also take those penalties and then also take your foot off the gas at the same time. Because they did both.
Yeah. I think my heart stopped at one point. Because I was like, it is so over.
Yeah. Like, they played 40 minutes of strong hockey. They did not play that last 20. I would even say, like, last 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, the last 15.
You don't want that in the playoffs. You don't want that in the playoffs.
It's like one day, I don't know when, but one day we will get 60 minutes of good hockey.
Well, there was a game this season where I think I said, like, that was the best full 60 that they played. I can't remember what game it was. I think, was it Winnipeg?
I think so.
I think it was Winnipeg in Winnipeg. With the Benoit empty netter.
Yeah. So we've had one good full 60 minutes.
I think that's the only time I've
season.
said that this season is when that's the first time they've played a full complete game.
It's either a strong start and a really weak end, or
a bad start and a really strong finish.
Yeah.
Third period warriors. Yeah, like I said earlier, the game got really like physical, chippy. I don't know what Darnell Nurse was doing yapping at Joel Edmondson at one point. What? What did he do to you?
What? Oh,
I will say though, like Domi, like in the blueprint for the belt, Domi did say what I think every Leafs fan is saying, but he said it in something that got posted to Leafs socials, is that can't wait to see this guy in the playoffs about Joel Edmondson, which is so true. Like this is a guy who has won the Stanley Cup, and then has also been to, first of all, has then beaten the Leafs in a series, and then gone to the Stanley Cup Finals with Montreal. So this is a guy who knows what it takes, and he has the play style to get there. I'm so excited to see what this guy can do with some like playoffs officiating.
I know, like a lot of the time, like every time I'm like, oh, it's like the last month coming up to playoffs, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be over soon. But now I'm like, you know what? It might
maybe we will get more than 7 games this time.
But like, okay, maybe it will also just be over soon, but it'll be good.
It'll be good.
It'll be good to watch.
Yeah. Samsonov also leaves the game appearing injured, and that, I will say, I saw, like, December, whatever, like, was it 7th or whatever? Like, I saw the Joseph Woll 7th. Yeah, it's the fact that you know it, and I don't, and I was at that game. But yeah, like, I saw that, I was like, oh no. That's my first thought was, oh my god. Going out. Yeah, Jones is the one who has to come in. We have a lead. Jones went in, played very good. He played really well, especially when it's high pressure with the extra attacker at the end. Again, another reason why having 3 goalies is a luxury, because that way, like, yes, Joseph Woll can be in Carolina all by himself, getting a nice, good night of sleep, but also as well, you don't have to worry about him going in and then having to play the next night.
Yeah. No,
the luxury, guys. It's a luxury that I don't know if the Leafs have ever had this luxury in recent years, where they've had 3 goalies up, and also as well, like, I remember last year, we were calling guys, we didn't have enough goalies. And we were, like, calling U of T guys.
Excuse me. I will have...
Leafs legend, Jet Alexander.
Leafs legend, Jet Alexander.
Look, his name is on the Wikipedia page for the list of Toronto Maple Leafs players. Because he's played one.
He had his, 70 seconds?
Yeah, I think it was like 90 or something like that at the time. But yeah, if you ever like see the U of T like Varsity Blues men's hockey TikTok come up on your For You page,
love that TikTok.
You always keep an eye out for Jet Alexander. He's hilarious in all of this.
Every single time it comes up, I'm like, where is he?
Where's Jet? I don't know any of these other guys. Where's Jet? But yeah, so, and then Sheldon Keefe says afterwards, after the game, I'm just gonna pull up his exact quote, because I'm like, Sheldon Keefe, can we stop using the word fine to describe everything that ever happens?
I don't even... Can someone please tell him that there are other words in the English language?
There's other words to use than fine.
Because, like, I'm not being funny. Fine could mean a billion different things. I say, oh yeah, it was fine when I walk out of an exam that I know I've absolutely flopped. I'm like, oh yeah, it was fine. When it was like, pretty good. Fine tells us absolutely nothing, Sheldon.
Fine is what I would use to describe my day, my every single day of high school to my parents at dinner.
Yeah, it's alright, we're fine.
Like, can we not... Here we go. Yeah, this is via Mark Master. Sheldon Keefe said it looks like Ilya Samsonov will be fine. Not as bad as it looks. Did he, just get, a leg cramp?
I just think that's, I want to know what happened.
What it was.
I'm not being funny. Watching that happen, first of all, the flashbacks.
The flashbacks. I was like, oh, here we go. We're screwed. We're so screwed. It's so over for us.
This year, I was like, that's it. We're done. I'll see you next season.
Well...
Because, he was not getting up.
He was not getting up. So, was it a cramp?
Oh my God, I wonder where I've seen this before.
Was it a cramp, though? That's the only thing that I can think of, where it was oh, it's not as bad as it looks? Or,
Yeah, because it's not even, Because, I know a lot of the time, when you get hit with something...
But he didn't get hit, really though. That's the thing.
But he didn't get hit.
He didn't get hit. So it wasn't at practice, that morning skate where he got hit in the balls. And this is where I'll have my personal gripe with the Sportsnet broadcast the next night, because they were talking about it and they were like, well, this is the second time in the span of 2 weeks that Ilya Samsonov has left appearing more hurt than he actually is. First of all, I'd like to see one of you guys take a puck to the balls, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Elliot Friedman.
Yeah, Elliot. It's yeah, you might be fine after getting a puck to the balls, but you're not going to walk off. You're not going to fucking skip off all smiling, are you? You're
not going to be like, all right, I'm good to go. That's the thing where it's it's not, honestly, I think anyone, totally understand it, that he was you know what? I'm gonna take the rest of practice.
Yeah, it's you know what? Ouch. That hurt. I'm off.
Right? That's totally understandable. This one, also as well, probably a cramp. And I don't know about you, I get cramps sometimes when I'm swimming, because it's you're dehydrated, you just don't have enough, salt.
Yeah.
In your, whatever. You need electrolytes. Maybe they should be putting some BioSteel in his water bottle. Actually, no, that sounds like a terrible, awful idea, because then when he sprays his face, it gets stick. Actually, come here. Oh, you just thought about that feeling too, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, so, I don't know, but, it's oh, a cramp. Would you rather him try... It's, not the playoffs. It's a regular season game. The Leafs are up, whatever. If it's a cramp, I would also rather just, take it out back.
Yeah. I don't know, it's it's the last, what? It was last, 5 minutes?
Not even. I think it was less than that if I look at, the...
Was it, last 3 and a bit?
Yeah, I think it was. Hold on.
I think. So it's I'm not being funny. If you're winning by that much, it's the last 3 and a bit minutes. If I've got a cramp, I'm gonna be you know what, guys? You've got this. I don't want to play through this, and I also don't want to cause massive delays just for the sake of the last 3 minutes.
Yeah. Also, especially because...
Let Martin Jones have a go.
Also, as well, especially because, I don't know, but, sorry, I'm just trying to find the time on ice report. I don't, also especially because, would you rather have a healthy Martin Jones or, yeah, it was 3.5 minutes. 56:21. Would you rather have, I don't know, would you rather have a perfectly fine Martin Jones or, a slightly uncomfortable Ilya Samsonov? Exactly. For 3.5 minutes.
It's not gonna be the end of the world.
It really is not, and, like, I don't know why that turned into a bigger deal where it's like, well, you can't trust Samsonov. I doubt in a playoff opportunity, Samsonov is going to come out of the game if he gets hit in the balls by a puck, or if he gets a cramp. Like, it's, like... Anyways. That's what I'll say. Also, as well, having Matt Murray potentially slot in above Wool and Samson, either Wool or Samsonov, is a crazy idea. I don't know where they got that from. No offense to Matt Murray, but, like...
Yeah, sometimes I just think, like, men shouldn't be allowed to have opinions.
Put us on Sportsnet.
Yeah, get us on... Could you imagine how much better that would be?
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
Us two sat there, just chattering away. Be like,
fantastic.
oh yeah, remember when this happened? We wouldn't have bad... There wouldn't be a bad take in sight.
But yeah, also as well, because we didn't even talk about Matt Murray yet. Matt Murray was on the ice before a Leafs practice, Friday? Taking shots from some of the guys, and one of them was William Nylander. I just saw that in the pictures. First time he's been on the ice taking shots since his hip surgery, so that's cool. Apparently he could be cleared to play in April, which medically cleared to play does not mean he could actually play. Before people are like, oh, here he comes off LTIR. I think he'd probably get a conditioning stint with the Marlies. That makes the most sense.
Yeah, you're not gonna go, right, hi Matt, I know you've
missed the past 6-9 months, missed an entire season.
Yeah, we know you've missed, like, all season, and, like, you're coming back from a pretty major surgery. How would you like to just go right into the playoffs? Like, that's not gonna happen. Like,
yeah, that's the thing where I was like...
If they sent Joseph Wool down to the Marlies for a conditioning stint after, 2 and a bit months off?
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna throw Matt Murray into the playoffs.
Which,
That's
they did say...
stupid.
I also think as well, like, they're not... As much as, like, Matt Murray's playoff experience is very valued. He won 2 cups with Pittsburgh. That's valuable. That's valuable playoff experience. That's very valuable playoffs experience for a goalie. High pressure situations, blah, 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 blah. Essentially stole the job from Marc-Andre Fleury to help the Penguins. But, like, guys... Who knows if he's even the same goaltender before we start slotting him ahead of either Ilya Samsonov or Joseph Wool? Heck, I probably wouldn't even slot him in above Martin Jones right now.
No.
Whether he was, like, come playoffs or whatever, my strength chart, like, my depth chart for goalies would probably go Samsonov or Wool or interchangeable, it depends. My heart says Wool, but my brain says Samsonov.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm like, I could be biased and be like, it's going to be Joseph Wool in that starter job, but, like, Ilya Samsonov, like, has been lights out since coming back up from his little brain break with the Marlies. So, I would... It's like 14-4-1 is his record since coming back, which is craziness.
Absolutely insane.
So, yeah, like... and then Martin Jones, who's a very solid goaltender, right? Maybe I'd put Matt Murray above Dennis Hill to be purely based on an experience, but that's how it would go.
Yeah.
The true question is, though, do the Leafs carry 4 goalies into the playoffs? Because the cap goes away.
Do the Leafs become me with my fantasy team?
Because the cap goes away. Do you As soon as the cap goes away, do you activate Matt Murray off of LTIR and you carry 4 goalies into the playoff? Do you take up the roster spots? That's the question. Because you can, whatever, you have the cap, you have whatever cap you'd like, but you're still limited by 23 roster spots. So do you only have 19 skaters? Maybe not, considering the way the Leafs operate their
no.
like, maybe not. But anyways, that we're not Sheldon Keefe. So
yeah, unfortunately we're not Sheldon Keefe.
Unfortunately, we're not Sheldon Keefe. So, Leafs and Hurricanes. I will preface this by saying the reason why I, so deeply established that Joseph Woll was well-rested, because he went to Raleigh early, was because the Leafs only got to their hotel room until, 11:30 a.m. the night before the game. Because it was back-to-back with travel. Game went long. The Leafs and Oilers game went longer than a usual 7 o'clock game because of all the stoppages and things like that. It was a longer game in terms of overall duration. And then also as well, the game in Carolina started at 6 instead of 7 because why not? I have personal beef with the NHL schedulers because
I don't think you've ever said that before.
So, and it shows, because the Leafs were tired out of the gate, and Carolina gets one early and then never gives up the lead. But Brody, Bertuzzi, and Lyubushkin back in the lineup. So at least you got... Why didn't you send those guys down early? That's what I'll always wonder. I'm like, why did you just send Joseph Woll down alone? I understand Bertuzzi was kind of a game-time decision against Edmonton because it was all questionable whether or not he plays. But, if you knew you were going to scratch Brody, why didn't you send him down too?
Come on. You can't win a game purely from having a well-rested goalie. You also need the rest of the team.
A well-rested defenseman.
You need something. You cannot rely on the fact that Joseph Woll was tucked up in bed and had an early night.
I will say, though, how did the Sportsnet broadcast get that picture of him at the airport?
I know. I want to know. Did they get the news and they were like, oh,
gotta send someone to Pearson.
Get someone down there.
Go.
ASAP.
Or was it someone had spotted him at Pearson, was like, oh my god, it's Joseph Woll at Pearson. Take him. Was it a fan? I
feel like if someone had spotted him,
we would hear about it.
I don't want this to make me sound really creepy, but I would know.
We would know.
I would have found out.
Also as well, I will... Also as well...
In the most normal way possible.
Also as well, you know what it immediately reminded me of, though?
Oh, God.
That time that the One Direction fans hacked into the airport security cameras and, or, set up a live stream to follow the band through the airport. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, surprise, that was actually me.
But that's what it reminded me. That was the first. I don't think I ever tweeted that out, but that was the first thing it reminded me of was the One Direction, security camera incident.
Yeah. Oh god. I will say though, he looked very comfortable.
He did look very cozy. It's also good to know. I have
never seen anyone look more cozy and comfortable in an airport.
Especially the seats at the gate. Those are so uncomfortable. They suck.
We were just sat there, just hood up, all slip. I was just yeah, I'm having a time right now.
But also as well, good to know that just 'cause you play on the Leafs, you have to own a Drew House hoodie.
Oh yeah.
Leafs blue though, so he's got the passion. It's
Oh, Joseph.
But yeah, Joseph Will had a great game. He had a fantastic game. He kept the Leafs in it. He kept the Leafs in the game for sure. Stopped 41 of 43 shots, which is like a 9.53 save percentage or something like that.
Yeah, that was insane.
Kept the Leafs at the end.
Season high for him as well. Good.
Yeah,
Joseph.
season high shots faced. And way to go, Joseph. Also as well, like just the goals that were allowed were just sloppy efforts defensively by Toronto.
Oh yeah. They were.
The third line, this third line that Keefe rolled out, I'm calling it the kids line because it's Nyes, Holmberg, Robertson. That line has an average age of, hold on, I should have done this beforehand.
Like
I think Robertson's 21, right? Or is he 22? I think he's 21. Or he's 22.
I can tell you that
I know he has like a September birthday. He does have a... Oh, yeah. No, wait. I should have been able to... I should be able to do this math way quicker. I know, that's what I was going to say. I was like, I should know this. I should be able to do this. Divided by 3. That's an average age of 22.6 on that line. Holmberg is the oldest at 25. So, kid line.
They've still got homework to do.
I know, I should have done this at work when I was bored, but that's when I was writing this, but these notes out. But I didn't. Oops. I also was getting really frustrated with the Wi-Fi at work today. It wasn't working, so yeah. But yeah, third line, kids line, and I also looked at the shift chart for this game because I was very curious at how much Keefe kept those three guys together. Because I remember at multiples during the game, those three guys, like, they weren't playing all three of them all together. Like, you would see Nyes up with Matthews, you'd see Robertson up with Matthews, Holmberg was up with, like, it was kind of, it was a little bit indispersed. But surprisingly enough, they did play most of their shift time together. So, good. I don't know, maybe we'll see more of the kid line. I'm calling it that. And nobody can change my mind. Nobody can. I'm calling it the kid line.
It's official now. It's been said.
It's official. Yeah. And podcast means something is always true.
Exactly.
Robertson, though, gets the lone Leafs goal of the game. I think he needed that goal to make up for some not great performances from him in previous games.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a stay in the lineup goal, but for now it is. But I don't know, like, who's the guy...
redemption-ish goal.
I just, like, I don't know who the guy is, like, who are the ones you take out when Marner and Yarncrow come back?
Yeah.
I think Nick Robertson is at the top of a lot of people's lists, but...
Which is a shame.
Gregor?
But...
Then? Because do you take out Holmberg? Holmberg's a 10-goal scorer.
You can't. You can't
take out Holmberg. He has 10 goals.
Especially not with the way he's played recently.
Connor Dewar, he's yet to score as a Leaf. Thought this weekend would be his weekend, I will admit.
You can't take Dewar out.
Dewey number 2 first goal as a Leaf coming coming tomorrow against New Jersey. Clack it. I'm putting it in. If I'm right, I'm gonna clip this part of the show and I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna have this part of the show pre-clipped, ready to go. And if it does happen, with video and everything.
Oh yeah.
And if he scores, I'm gonna be like, I called it. Because Brandon Duhaime, Dewey number 1, scored his first goal as an Avalanche this weekend against the Pittsburgh Penguins in that weird comeback. So
yeah, that don't know what happened there, but
yeah, I don't either.
Something went on.
Yeah, something went on. I do also want to talk about this one thing. I want to bring up this one thing that happened where there was a stick slash on John Tavares. The whistle blew. And there was no call. Because what was that?
I'm not saying that I could do a better job. That is exactly what I am saying.
Like, the thing is, it's like, if my skating was better, I could be an NHL ref.
Oh my god. And speaking of women being refs, that just reminded me. At a Manchester Storm game the other day, there was a female ref.
Oh!
And, which, good for her.
Go girl.
But another woman, might I add, posted on one of the Manchester Storm Facebook groups. She was like, "Oh, this ref's shit," and was like, and then so there was like, obviously it's Facebook. The comments were all like, "Oh yeah, this is why women shouldn't be refs." Blah, blah, blah. So it started like a whole massive thing, and I'm like, and I was sat there and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna let every other ref in the league who just happens to be a man be absolutely shocking at their job, but the minute a woman's not great, she gets ripped to shreds.
That's not how
like,
that's right.
I have sat and witnessed some of the worst reffing.
We've watched a
life.
Wes McCauley reffed Leafs game.
Exactly. he can get away with that, but God forbid a woman is also not good at being a ref.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Justice for her.
Justice for
and also,
her.
Why are you bringing down another woman?
Yeah, that's the thing where I was like, why are you? But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's. I will say, coming back to the John Tavares situation, it's bad when even the broadcast doesn't know what happened. When you have Chris Cuthbert going, "I don't know what that was," that's when you know you messed up as a league. When no one can tell you. When, you know, the players don't know. When the coach doesn't know. When the ref doesn't explain. When the broadcaster, who has years in the NHL and also many years broadcasting and commentating Leafs games. When then the guys at the panel during intermission who have various experiences, various years of experience working and watching hockey and playing hockey, can't tell you what happened. How am I supposed to then go to my friends who aren't necessarily hockey fans, who want me to help them get into the sport, want me to help them explain games to them? How am I supposed to turn to them and be like, so this is what this is? Because no one else knows and I don't even know.
What is this league?
It's a joke. That's what it is. It's a joke. Put that clip
what?
of.
It's not even a funny one.
It's not even a good one. Put that one clip where it's like, this is a joke. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah. I say that in my head all the time.
That doesn't surprise me. At all.
But yeah, also as well, I have just written on here, Leafs defense questions, just mostly because this is a more interesting topic than talking about who's, who do the Leafs go with going into Game 1? Because they have a lot of defensemen. Does Mark Giordano come back? Who knows? We don't know. But, Connor Timmins is back. So, essentially, you have, 9 defensemen. Right? To your disposal in various levels of playability.
Yeah.
And I hate that I'm agreeing with Steve Dangle on this, but in his LFR for the game against Carolina, I hate that I'm agreeing with this on it, but he does make a really good point. And I always hate when this happens, because, sometimes a broken clock is right twice a day.
You're being a bit mean to good friend of the podcast, Steve Dangle.
Just because he retweeted my tweet one time does not make him a...
Yeah, he also replied to me, therefore, BFFs.
Friend of the show, Steve Dangle. We're never getting on that show now.
I think we should make a t-shirt that just says friend of the show, Steve Dangle.
When we make more Steve Dangle merch than Steve Dangle does. We'll sell it in like a combo pack with our fish want me, Steve Dangle fears me hat.
Yep.
But he
I wish I had my women want me, fish fear me hat. But it's at uni.
Sorry, this is baseball news.
Ooh.
It's Ohtani baseball news.
Ooh.
So he had a press conference today, and in it he just read a statement. And according to Sportsnet, breaking news: Dodgers Ohtani said he never bet on sports. An interpreter stole money and told lies.
I don't even know what to make of this anymore.
This is crazy. Anyways, this is what you make a movie of.
Yes.
It was so funny because I have Teamwork Online who a lot of NHL teams use them as to do like the job posting. So I like looking to see what jobs are available and seeing what sort of qualifications you need. Okay.
Yeah.
That's and so they send me emails, and I got an email today, actually, funnily enough, for a company like totally unrelated to MLB, but it is a baseball like company that's based out of Washington State. But like it was a job posting for a Japanese English interpreter, and I did have a little chuckle to myself. I've said today of all days, like, what are the odds that this is the one that they choose to send me, like, right now?
That's quite funny.
That I was like, this is hilarious. But so back to the Leafs defenseman. Riley. So these are the pairings he put out, and honestly, I agree with them. Like, I do. Riley Lyubushkin, because you got Lyubushkin for Morgan Riley, McCabe Benoit, Edmondson Liljegren.
Yeah.
You healthy scratch TJ Brody. Is TJ Brody better than maybe half of those defensemen right now? Like, is he a better defenseman? Yes. But is Brody with any Leafs defenseman better than any of those pairs? No. And I think what you have to do if you're Sheldon Keefe is you have to go with the guys that aren't necessarily maybe the best individual defensemen, but when you play them in the right pairs,
they work together,
are hot right now and are good right now and are strong and reliable right now. Because you could say all you want about how good Riley and Brody were last season, or you could say how well Riley and McCabe worked. Riley and McCabe worked during, like, whatever. You can say how good any pairing was between October, November, December. This is not October, November, December. This is it. We're almost April. We're a week away from April.
Yeah, it's like...
The playoffs start in less than a month. You have, 14 games left? You play who's good.
You've got to realise, like, at this point, it's not who's the best individual players. It's who can actually play with someone else and not be a complete disaster.
Yeah. That's what it is. And if that means healthy scratching TJ Brody in the playoffs, it means healthy scratching TJ Brody in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have to do it. And if he's got some, like, super incriminating blackmail material on you, Sheldon Keefe, you just gotta live with it.
Yeah, it's like, you can bounce back from, like...
whatever he's got on you, whatever dirt he's got on you, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like we won't judge, depending.
Yeah. I mean, what you can also do is, if you like, Liljegren also as well has been playing fantastic. Like, he's, as of lately, has been playing great. Really turned his game around. And he's throwing hits now.
I don't know where this came from, but...
Okay, Timmy.
Okay, Timmy.
like, he's being offensively strong. He's being more responsible in his own end. So hats off to Timothy Liljegren. Also, as well, like, you could, if you want to still have TJ Brody there as reassurance, consider the 7-11 lineup. Especially with the luck that the Leafs have had recently of, like, defensemen getting hurt mid-game. This gives you more flexibility if you really do want to still be able to put TJ Brody out there. You can, because you have the ability to play him and not play him in different scenarios, and it, like, that's an option. You can, like, a guy, like, and now the question is, like, okay, which one of those forwards are the guy that you take out of the lineup? Looking at it right now, maybe, like, Noah Gregor, Ryan Reeves. You don't need them. Ryan Reeves, especially with his limited ice time, you don't need him in there. You don't need him if you're like, well, but the physicality he brings. What's Joel Edmondson for? What's Connor Dewar for? Exactly. What's Max Domi for? What's Tyler Bertuzzi for? Those are guys who I've just listed who are probably going to be on the ice at any given time, who can bring the physicality of Ryan Reeves while being less threatening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're more likely to actually get guys to go after them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to fight Ryan Reeves anymore. Because no one is in his weight class unless you're Matt Rempe. Or Delorier. Right? Yeah. But there's more guys in Connor Dewar's weight class and Max Domi's weight class. You know, there's more guys who are willing to go toe-to-toe with Joel Edmondson. We saw that against Edmonton. So I'm just saying, as much as people are like, well, but you're going to have to use, like, Ryan Reeves, well, we're stuck with him for 2 more years after this one. I know. Would I have made that signing? No.
Nope.
Not that term. Maybe that price, not that term.
But, yeah.
The 3 years, that never made sense to me. The 3 years never made sense to me.
I don't think I'll ever understand what was going on when they were like, oh,
unless Brad can be like, well, here it is, right here, this is why I did it, and laid it out and had a really nicely done PowerPoint presentation. I don't see it.
God, PowerPoint night with the girls.
PowerPoint, and it's Brad explaining to us why he signed Ryan Reeves.
It's like he stood there, like, little gin and tonic in hand. He's like, okay, so here's why we kept Ryan for this long.
This is why Ryan Reeves has a 3-year contract. And then meanwhile, I go up there and go, alternatives. Like, who I think list of who I think could start in net for game 1 of the playoffs. Number 4, Carlton the Bear. Have we ever seen him and Joseph Wool in the same room? No. Am I still convinced they are the same person? Yes.
Yeah.
Prove me otherwise, Maple Leafs.
Yeah, and my PowerPoint will be evidence supporting the fact that Joseph Wool is Carlton the Bear.
But yeah, the Leafs play New Jersey tomorrow at home at 7:30. That's weird for it being, like, in Toronto. That's a weird start for being in Toronto. That's weird. I don't know why. Why is this weird? I don't like that.
Interesting.
I don't like, it's the next 2 Leafs games are like that. They start at 7:30, but they're in Toronto, like, sorry. I don't understand it. I don't get it. They're weeknights, too. NHL scheduling, I don't understand it. The NFL put out a wonderful video explaining their scheduling. It was really nice. It was really informational to watch. I don't think the same thing applies to the NHL, and therefore I would like the NHL to put out a video explaining their scheduling, and then maybe I would complain less.
Yeah, it's like, how do we get Emma to complain less?
Put out a YouTube video explaining your decisions.
It's a very simple solution.
It's a very simple solution. I do recommend you go watch the NFL video. I thought it was so cool. They have like a program for it. It was so cool. And they only have to schedule 17 games. So I can't imagine the work that has to go into scheduling an 82 game season with 32 games. Yeah. More sort of Leafs adjacent. Tom Wilson got his suspension handed to him. It was 6 games. That's what the Department of Player Safety decided on. For his high stick on Noah Gregor, I tweeted out that the Riley suspension may have set a precedent, and no one argued with me. So I'm gonna take that as a win, because I fully was, I quote tweeted the Department of Player Safety tweet, so I was fully expecting someone to argue with me on it. So
that's quite surprising, actually.
I know. I was like, I'm so surprised no one was like, well, here's why you're wrong, stupid Leafs fan.
Really?
I was actually like, this is one of those things. But they did cite significant history, which Tom Wilson does have significant history with the Department of Player Safety. It could impact the Washington playoff run, because Tom Wilson is 4th in scoring for the team. Let's play fun guess on who number 1 through 3 is.
I don't know, Emma. Hit me.
Well, I think you can get the first 2. What do you be? I think you can get the first 2 pretty easy. Who's 1 and 2?
Me. And you.
It's Ovechkin and Strome, and you knew that. Number 3, though? Yeah, it is. Look at us.
Look at this guy.
No, number 3, though, is Anthony Mantha, who no longer plays for the team. Anthony Mantha of the Vegas Golden Knights is number 3 in the cap scoring this season. That's how brutal it's been for the Leafs for the Caps on the scoring front. They have like a negative 30 goal differential or something stupid as well.
Yeah, it's like rough.
But they did still shut out Winnipeg 4-0.
They have that at least.
Because I was thinking this could impact their playoff run. But then they go on and shut out Winnipeg, so who knows? But yeah. Also as well, bring back the old graphics, because I did a little bit of research and digging. The old graphics that we used to have before this season, the key points, that key points graphic, that design had been around since the Department of Player Safety got introduced, and it was being run by Brendan Shanahan, and Brendan Shanahan used to be the one to stand and do the videos. Yes, he would stand in this it's almost like a TV set, almost like a sports like a Sportsnet, like a TV set where there's all these screens and everything, and he'd have a screen beside him, and he'd be like, "I'm Brendan Shanahan, head of the Department of Player Safety, and the Department of Player Safety is assigning Brad Marchand a 6-game suspension for his incident against Tampa Bay Lightning last Thursday night." I kid you not. He used to do them. Can we get Brendan Shanahan to still do the Department of Player Safety videos? Please. I know there's going to be people being like, but it's always all about the Leafs. He's because he is the president of the Leafs, but it's all about the Leafs. It's always all about the Leafs. Can we not have it always? But come on, it's Brendan Shanahan. He used to absolutely serve with really ill-fitting suits. His suits never fit him in those videos. Which is so funny. Which is so funny. But it's also 2006.
Beautiful.
Are you looking them up now?
No, I'm definitely not just looking up Joseph Lowe. It's for research. Science.
Okay. I will say, though, very proud that I called 6 games on the podcast on Thursday.
You did. You got it right.
I did say 6 games. And because I said, well, if Riley sets a precedent, it's 6 games. Because it's 5. because it's to the head. And you get one more for significant history.
Yeah. It's like...
I love being right.
You're still on top of this, Emma.
I love being right. Some other news that I have. Just Easton Cowan's point streak continues. He's
Look at him
reached 35 games, and he will carry it with him into the OHL playoffs, where the London Knights are taking on Flint, I believe. The Flint Firebirds. There's like a full breakdown. Hold on. Kyle Cushman tweeted something out. Kyle. Good friend Kyle Cushman. He's liked a couple of my tweets, and it's just very, very funny. Oh, yes. It is versus Flint. Minton and Ozowski versus Prince Albert. All of the CHL playoffs start this week. Well, and then also so does NCAA Frozen 4. Everything. It's a big week. If you are a big prospect head, it's a big week for a bunch of prospects all across the NHL for playoffs that start this week. So,
exciting.
Yeah. What did you send me? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, indeed.
Do we talk about it? Do we talk about this show?
I feel like we can mention it.
We can mention it. We haven't done enough. I feel like I don't want to go too much in detail because I haven't even read the article. I just looked at the headline.
Yeah. Of
Curse serious news topics. Yeah. Via Rick Westhead. We're just reading the headline because I haven't even opened the article, and I would like to do proper research before we discuss this topic, just because it's a sensitive one. But a U.S. federal court judge has denied the Chicago Blackhawks' request to dismiss a negligence suit filed by a second John Doe who alleges he was sexually assaulted by former team video coach Brad Aldrich. So, fuck you, Chicago Blackhawks.
Fuck the Chicago Blackhawks.
But way to go, U.S. federal judge. I get, okay, good on you. That's what you have to do. Okay, this is way cooler. Because I can put markers in, so I know where to clip things out. Sorry, guys, I'm just being further amazed by why haven't we been using this sooner?
I feel like we tried it at one time and we got a bit scared by it.
Yes, and then I was very afraid that I didn't want to mess with the recording. So if this all disappears, what are you jaw-dropping at? I wanted to talk about Josh Doan.
Okay, you can talk about Josh Doan after you look at what I've just sent you on Instagram.
Anyways, Josh Doan, so son of Shane Doan, is making his NHL debut on Tuesday. He got called up from the AHL, the Coyotes, Arizona Coyotes AHL affiliate, the Tuscan Roadrunners. So that's cool. Apparently Shane Doan will be present in Arizona for his son's debut, which I'm sure he's afforded to take time away from the Leafs and miss their game against New Jersey. So that's really not that important. No. But yeah, and I also just have on here that the Bruins got bag skated for their bad performance against Philadelphia, and then their laziness during practice. I just bring it up because the videos of, like, teams getting bag skated always make me giggle because of, the fact that just, like, you see the guy, like, the skaters go by, and then, like, 20 seconds later, you see the goalie coming behind them. Struggling. I think it's always... I think... Okay, you know what? I will say, unless it's, like, deserved, but, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, the goalie should skate too. But if it's, like, laziness during a practice, like during a drill, and you're like a goalie, and you're like, what the fuck did I do? I get pissed off.
Innocent.
I couldn't see what goalie it was. I couldn't tell by the helmet which Bruins goalie it was in the video. But yeah.
Damn. Sucks to be them.
Yeah. I don't know how I did, although also like have in the notes. Oh yes. Suddenly it's 2014 with Ovi and Crosby shining bright. That's what I wrote. I don't know why I wrote that. I was like, that reads like a goddamn fluff piece from The Athletic. Like, what ghost of, like, Jonas Siegel, Joshua Cloak, and, like, Michael Russo, like, possessed me to write that and put that on paper? What possessed me to say that?
I will say I did deeply enjoy reading it, and just sat there for a minute and just went, oh, Emma.
What did I do? Like, I think maybe because you know what it was? I was romanticizing hockey again. I was going, oh, look, it's 2024. Ovechkin's having a 2-goal night. Crosby's putting up 3 assists. It's 2014 again. These guys are never gonna retire.
Oh, God.
That's what I was thinking in that moment when I wrote that out and then never changed it to something that was actually, like, good. And, like, not that. But, yeah, it's cool. I don't know. It's, like, one of those things where I'm like, these guys are never gonna retire. I really hope they never do, because I think the day that, like, Sidney Crosby retires, I'm gonna need to take a day off work.
Yeah. I don't think I'll hear from you for, like, a whole day.
No. I'll be crying.
And that's very like, I can understand that.
Yeah. I don't know, man, Sidney Crosby, like, I don't know. I feel like I've said so many times about how much I love Sidney Crosby. I think I've made it very, very...
Really?
obvious.
I wasn't aware.
I've definitely mentioned about how, like, how monumental his golden goal was for me as a small child and becoming a hockey fan.
Once or twice. Maybe just in passing.
In passing through 36 episodes of this show. That's what this is. This is episode 36. I noticed that today. I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, look at us go.
Look at us go. Yeah, I mean, we have... What do we got here? We got, like, a minute 12. Good time. I don't know. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No, I don't think I've got anything else today. Which is surprising, because I never shop, usually.
Wow.
Bring back Justin Hall. That was my...
Oh, just that because the Red Wings haven't played him since March 9th?
Yeah, Emma. Thanks for the reminder. I don't
know. He's another signing that confuses me, where I'm like, why?
Like,
I don't know if they, like, wanted to play him in more regularly, but he's only played 37 games this season, and I think they're paying him what? Over 3 mil, like 3.1?
Yeah, I think
3.125 or something like that. Like, it's because it's a 3-year 10 mil contract, so whatever that is.
Yeah, 3.4.
Paying him 3.4, and he's played 37 games this year.
Like,
and
that's a choice.
No goals, 5 points, 5 assists. And like, and also as well, the Detroit Red Wings have a hugely deep prospect pool. I think they have maybe arguably one of the best prospect pools in the NHL right now. Right?
Yeah.
In terms of just like pure, like, because I know people like to argue being like, well, a prospect could also be a player under 22 who's playing NHL games. I mean, purely players who are not playing in the NHL right now. Because then you can make the argue for like some like Columbus being like, well, look at how deep they're like. Well, also that's because like half their team is under 22.
Yeah.
Right? Or like the Ducks. Well, half their team is under. You know what I mean? So ignoring that, but I mean like the guy, like the ones who aren't playing. Like, I don't know. This is something we have to ask our Red Wings insider for information, like about like how the average Red Wings fan feels about the Justin Hall contract, because I can imagine, like, if the Leafs signed him to that as, like, a re-signing and played him the way that they have been playing him, it would be anarchy.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute
it would be
anarchy.
Nightmare.
It'd be a nightmare. Well, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at me making fun of Justin Hall's contract. I can't make fun of a man who is making $3.4 million a year. Yeah. Because I am not making that, so. Or we would be filming this together in person.
Yeah. In a studio.
In a studio.
With background lights.
With background lights. Proper,
That's
like.
That's how you know you've made it.
Oh, yeah. And we got, like, the big podcaster headphones on with the mics on, like, the stands.
One day.
Yeah. One day. We'll get there.
We just sat on, like, a little sofa.
Would we be sofa or would we be, like, table people? We'd be
we'd be sofa.
We'd be sofa? Better for my back.
I can't sit. Yeah, I can't sit at tables. Like,
True.
Normally. I have to,
like, slouching.
Crouch on my chair or something.
Yeah. We would be couch people. Or, like, big armchairs. Like, big leather armchairs. Like, big, sexy leather armchairs.
Ooh, big. I could do armchairs. No, I could do armchairs because I can just kind of like lie across it and just hold the microphone. That's my favourite way to sit in armchairs. Like, you just like lie across instead of actually sitting.
That's so gay of you.
Thank you.
With that, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with another episode as usual. I don't know when we're going to record it because I am going to be at home. We'll figure it out. But we will be back with another episode on Thursday. I don't know about next Monday, though, because that isn't Easter. But I will have the whole day because I have my eye appointment at 2:30. I have the day off work. It's Easter Monday. We'll figure it out. We'll be back. We'll do an Easter episode.
Yeah.
That's also like a week away. But yes, you can find us wherever you get your podcast. We will get back on track to being up to date on YouTube. Don't worry. We'll get there.
Yes,
promise. I keep saying, like, I'm like, I can only say, like, once every, like, 2 weeks, being like, we're on YouTube. We're up to date on YouTube. And then I'm like, we're getting there. You can also follow the show on Twitter, at From the Fourth Line. That's fourth with the number 4th, so you can never miss another episode. Also, I don't know, follow us on Spotify, rate the show. Follow me on Marcie on Twitter, at 60 Leafs for Marcie, at PearB1 for myself. Thank you so much. Go Leafs, go. And we will see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.